me. She. um. Well, that was interesting. What the
It
hell?
was it was very interesting. These people are out of their minds. Oh, they're so weird.
Told you it's the women.
Like I couldn't believe she got up here and said that we could be her slaves. Said it with her whole chest. These people, like I said, I don't get them. That was both of them. Hey, sis.
So, oh, wait a second. So, Giovanni, give us your age and race.
28. To tell you, this is what's causing
No,
it.
no, no. You didn't have to tell us that. You could have scrolled on by.
You guys have already reached equality.
Oh my
You
God.
have. You
Why
you
are you
you
here?
have. You have the same opportunities that I have.
Stop talking to me.
This perpetuates racism. That's
Stop
how.
talking.
How does this perpetuate racism?
Because by mentioning things like how can we end racism, okay? When racism in America, you will never fully erase people that are racist. There will always be someone who's a racist. This is how it works. There's bigots out there. It's
So,
already ended. We've already reached
isn't that
equality.
isn't that perpetuating racism? How is asking how can racism end perpetuating it, but what you just said is not?
Because this is the okay, yes, I'll be very simple because this is divisive in the sense that you guys have this mentality that all people are
Who
all
is you
inherently
guys?
racist. What do you mean, you guys?
You said it.
Oh,
Who
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
are you referring to when you
people,
say you guys?
yeah, people within the BIPOC community. You say that all white people are racist. We are not racist.
You are.
No, that's racist to
No,
say.
it's not. No,
Shut
no,
the
no,
fuck
no,
is
no. I
racist.
didn't say that. I said you are racist. I
Okay,
said you are
no, that's
racist
not what you
because you
said.
benefit from the social construct in which white tea people created so that they receive the most privilege, they receive the most benefits. You benefit from that. That makes you a part of being racist. You are racist. You could spin it any way you like. You could say, no, I'm not. But the fact is,
Yeah, there you go. You're
all white tea
division.
people are racist. Please stop talking to me now.
Division. That's divisive. And the thing is, you guys don't even have an answer for how you want us to deconstruct the system. You just say figure it out for yourself. And how do I figure this out? How do I go out and how do I advocate to make an actual change to deconstruct the system that I benefit from? All you do is tell me that I'm a racist and I benefit from it, and then when we ask you how do we solve this, you say figure it out for yourself. How is that? How is that doing anything? How can we solve the problem when you just tell me to figure it out, research
Mel,
it?
Mel, is he asking you that question? Because I told him to stop talking to me.
Could I
I'm,
ask a
I'm, I'm
question to you
asking what
guys?
I'm asking what I'm supposed to do when I'm told that I'm a racist and I benefit from the system, and I don't know what to really do. And then when people ask you, you say, "Figure it out for yourself. That's your problem to deal with."
Well, you're supposed to let an immigrant come in and take your job in your house.
Ain't nobody talking to you, no. Wait till
Right.
the
No,
next
no, no,
So,
person.
no, 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 no. We're not gonna do that. Thank you. Yo soy Latina. We're not gonna do that.
And the last thing I want to say, and I'll let anyone respond, is that you're telling me that I am benefiting again, and I'm a racist, and you know that I don't hold the power to deconstruct an entire system. Um, Even though I openly agree, sure, I may benefit in a certain way from certain things. I'm not doing this intentionally. Just because of this color of my skin, calling me a racist. So, anyway, there you go. Answer that for me.
all right. So, go ahead, Nuggets.
So the answer to your question is deconstruct your racism. Go talk to a deconstruction therapist. And nobody said Giovanni, you, the individual, needed to go do it. It's a collective effort, right? You can be plural, right? Understood you. So it's not you as an individual because no individual. That's what you've been trained to think, that you, Giovanni, are just a rugged individual, but you shouldn't be, and you're not. Collectively, white people need to figure out how to deconstruct the system. How you do that is deconstruct your racism, because guess what? We are the system. There's your answer.
I appreciate the answer. Okay, so you're saying that I need to deconstruct, which I believe I've already done when I was a young child, because I wasn't raised in a house of racists. I was taught from a young age you don't see color. Okay, you see the people for who they are. But the thing is that you're shaking your head already. But I believe the only way you end racism is by educating your children. It's that simple. And you're telling me
Hey,
that no
Giovanni,
matter what
Giovanni,
I do,
what did you deconstruct? What did you deconstruct?
the term deconstruct means to break down the actual. Well, in religion, it means to like break down these
So
barriers and things that you
real
have built
quick.
up
I
in it.
know it. I know what
Wasn't
deconstruction
built
is.
up in it.
What did you deconstruct though? Is what I'm asking.
I deconstructed from the fact that I realized that obviously we historically have oppressed certain people, and that obviously I benefit from certain things because of my skin color. There are some benefits I have had when I was younger, and that obviously I need to realize that, and that you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Nuggets,
It's
can I
it's
ask you a
it's not
question
some
really, really
though.
quickly? Hold on, Nuggets, can I ask you a question?
And
Okay.
answer me.
When someone says, I don't see color, is that not racist?
It's for
Hey, hi
What? No,
Nuggets.
that's not racist.
Hi Nuggets. It is 1000% racist, Giovanni.
That's not racist. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, Giovanni, can I say this? Because I do.
I raised my hand. I raised
Hey,
my hand in the comments.
we need you to wait till you are introduced. We'll get to you. We promise we will.
So wait, wait? Let me ask you the question. When I say I don't see color, are you saying this is racist because I am now
Yes.
invalidating you?
Yes.
Wait, so you want me to
Oh, yes.
recognize you as you want me to recognize you as being a person of color?
I'm a black person. I'm not
Okay,
just a
what?
person of color. I'm a black person. A person of color can mean anything. But I
Okay,
am black.
so you want me to recognize you as a
A
black
black
person?
woman.
Okay.
As a black woman.
Wait, but if I recognize you as a black person, which is fine, we can do
A black
this.
woman.
A black woman. If I recognize you as a black woman, wow, does that defeat the purpose of us all being equal? We don't see color. I'm
No,
human. I don't
because
see
guess
color.
what,
See my
Giovanni?
color.
Because guess what,
Huh?
Giovanni? When I look in the mirror, I see a black woman. When you look in the mirror, you see a white T man. So how is
Okay.
it that you are like you have the privilege of saying that I don't see color when everybody that is of color sees color? And by you
So
saying that is racist because you do not see us as people and validate our experiences when you say, well, I don't see color.
wait a minute. Wait. Are you saying that you guys
I'm done.
know?
I'm please. I'm done
That
talking to
we
you.
know what.
I'm done.
That we know what. That we know
I
what,
can't.
Giovanni.
This doesn't make any sense. Okay. All right.
That we see what. Finish.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So are you guys are saying that you know my internal dialogue and what I think and how I feel and
No,
everything
in
that I feel
fact, no.
subjectively?
Giovanni, let me help you out. Let me help you out.
No,
No.
you're not helping me out. You don't know my brain.
Hey,
I don't know
listen.
your
No, no.
brain.
Hey, Giovanni, shut up just for
They're
a minute.
subjective experiences. You
Stop.
don't know what I
Mute
think.
yourself. Mute yourself. When I got asked a question, mute, Giovanni, mute, and stay muted. Thank you. Aaron asked me a question. Well, I'm assuming your pronouns are she. They asked me, right, when a person says, I don't see color, is or is that not racist? They did not say, is Giovanni racist? They did not say, is any singular person racist? What they are asking me is the context of, I don't see color. Is that racist? That is what they asked me. No one accused you of being racist. So stop victimizing yourself.
First of all, I'm not centering and victimizing myself.
Thank you. Mute.
Also,
Mute.
are you wearing a
Mute.
filter? I'm confused.
Mute. The only reason why you need to be concerned about whether or not this is a filter is if you want to kiss me on the mouth, Giovanni. Don't unmute again. I'm going to ask you a question, then I want you to unmute. Have you ever heard of or know what is the golden rule?
Yes, but is that a filter or is that you? Is that you?
No, do you want to kiss me on the mouth?
Well, maybe I was trying to figure out what you are. What
Well,
was going on
then
here
just
first.
say I want to kiss you on the mouth and don't worry about the filter, babes.
Wait, is it a filter? I'm trying to.
Don't worry about it. If you want to kiss me on the mouth,
It's tripping me out. You have the mustache and beard, but you have the.
just say you want to kiss me on the mouth and leave it at that. If you're attracted to me, you're attracted to me. It's too late now.
Take the
Did you
cowboy
say
hat off.
maybe?
No, I said take the cowboy hat off.
No.
Oh,
Have you heard of the golden rule?
yes.
Cool. What is it?
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Cool. Do you believe in that rule?
Of course.
What if I told you you were indoctrinated to believe that?
I would say you're right.
Okay. Why do you think I would say that?
Well, because indoctrination is a set of beliefs that are instilled in you typically as a child, and I believe I was indoctrinated to believe that to do unto others as they do unto you.
Cool. Now
I was indoctrinated with other
I'm gonna go ahead
morals.
and stop you there. I know. It's very obvious, right? If you've been indoctrinated to one thing, it's rightfully assumed that you're indoctrinated into others. Go ahead and mute for me real quick, please. Okay. Now, you have made it very clear that you have heard of this rule, you believe in this rule, you think it's a good thing, and that's great, right? But the issue in this rule, right, is what if Giovanni, in order to feel loved and or respected, Giovanni likes to be hugged, right? Now, this is just an example of a pattern of behavior that, most people might appreciate, right? But what if Nuggets doesn't like to be hugged? And as a matter of fact, when Nuggets gets hugged, it gives her anxiety, right? So if you do unto me as you would want done unto you, that is not love or respect for Nuggets, right? So much like, go ahead and mute, I'm not done. Much like the saying of, I don't see color, right? I'm not seeing you for you. I'm seeing you as I am. I'm not treating you how you wanted to be treated. I'm treating you as I want to be treated. Does that make sense?
What the hell? No, no, that doesn't.
It does. So what makes you feel
Doesn't. What the hell? Who told you that analogy?
loved and respected?
I don't know. It varies from day to day, but I mean, for the most part,
So let's say
um,
you and I were in a relationship. In order, like, for you to feel close to me, like touching, right? Do you like to be touched? Do you like someone who shows affection by way of touching their partner?
I mean, sure, some maybe. I don't know how to really answer. I don't know where you're going with this, but for sake of the conversation, sure, yes.
Okay. I don't want to be physically touched by my partner to feel loved from my partner.
Okay.
It makes me feel anxiety, right?
Okay.
But if you, as a person who likes to be touched, right,
Yep.
you're going to treat me how you want to be treated. So
Okay.
you
Fair enough.
like to be touched. So you are going to touch me, and that is going to give me anxiety.
Okay. So I understand now. So now apply this to the scenario. Apply this now.
So you don't see color, right? But you say it's more so about their character or their identity and things like that. But what you don't understand is race is an integral part of people's identity.
Okay. So I understand. Okay.
And to say that I don't see what race you are is to erase, number one, their identity and the things that they've been through and the things that they might be going through today, right? So
Okay.
you are eliminating an entire part of who they are just so you can be more comfortable in the situation. Because at the end of the day, they're still going to wake up the race that they are. I'm still going to wake up the race that I am in the system that has a hierarchy of race that you say you understand.
Okay. So yeah. So you're saying that their color is a large part of who they are.
No, I didn't say anything about color. I'll give you another analogy. Can you point to a white crayon in a crayon box?
Yes.
Can you point to a black crayon in a crayon box?
Yes.
Can you point to a Native American crayon in a crayon box?
No.
Can you point to a Pacific Islander crayon in a crayon box?
No.
Can you point to an Asian crayon in a crayon box?
No.
Race is not color.
Maybe I'm trying to think. I'm trying to process here. Okay. Okay, fine, fair enough.
Take your time. Take your like actually
You know, I'm processing it. I process it. Okay,
take your
okay.
time.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Um, I yeah. All right, well, yeah, we'll leave it at that, I guess. Anybody else in the guest queue that wants to come up or no?
Why do y'all do that?
Giovanni, this is not your space. Do you go
Wait,
to
what?
strangers' houses and let other strangers in the front door?
No,
Then
I
why
said
did you
that you
just do
have.
that? Then why did you just do that in melanated space?
I said if you want to
No,
bring
no,
someone
no,
else
no, no,
up, I
no,
can
no.
drop.
But this isn't your space. That's not what you said.
Wait, what did I say?
You said anybody else want to come up and talk.
Oh, yeah, I meant as in like if anyone else wants to come up, I can
No.
drop.
You also
All right,
stated you also stated
guys, this is
Giovanni,
taking it too
Giovanni,
far.
Giovanni, I know you can hear me, okay? Listen. You also earlier said before I let anyone else respond, right? So this is your entitlement, right? This is also a delusion of familiarity that we have, and I would like to thank Tammy Triolo for that language, by the way. But more often than not, like we assume a level of comfort and a delusion of familiarity with people, right? Like, for instance, really and truly, the So Melanated and I have like somewhat, like, we are mutuals, but we're not like, I don't know Melanated real well. CB and I have a little bit more of a knowing each other. Lala and I know each other a little bit, you know, but at no point, right, would I come into their space and be like, you know, who else can you put in the box or anything like that. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned, that like the one of the most pivotal ones to date, right, is boundaries and principle, and then pair that with effective communication, right? That's how deep racism is. It's in so many things that when you go into deconstruction therapy, like, it's not you just laying on a couch saying your deepest, darkest, most racist ideas. It's not that at all, right? And what I hear in you is a desire, but you think you've arrived, and deconstruction therapy is not something that ever stops. You don't need to be raised in a quote racist household to be racist. It's everywhere. It's in everything. There's nothing that racism hasn't put its white ass on. So to hear you say, I did that, especially when you were a child, that is impossible. Because even in understanding the golden rule, and you think you live by that, but I promise you, if I ask you how you treat people, you would treat them how they want to be treated, but yet you still hold on to this. And this is how indoctrination works. When so many people tell you circle B, and don't ask questions, you just circle B and you don't know why. You've never actually critically thought about the things, because the things that you say and the things that you actually think you mean don't line up at all. There's no principle in
Okay,
you.
no,
You're
I
just a
heard.
collection of talking points. And even now, you feel like you need to say something. You
Well, no,
f-
this is
I'm
to
gonna
you
go, I'm
earlier.
gonna go,
This is
like,
to
I'm
you
literally
earlier.
telling, I'm trying to give you the answer. I'm trying to give you the answer, right? You asked me what to do. And I'm telling you, deconstruction therapy is the shit. It's the way to go, because you always feel the need to interject. And I promise you, it's not ADHD or autism or any of those things. It's whiteness. You have to insert. And I promise you, you don't.
Uh, okay. I'm not sure. Do I respond or do I just? I'm just gonna clap, I guess.
Clock that, Nuggets. You clock that. That good.
Well, no, I mean like she's saying that if I respond, it's me just being racist, so I can't respond.
Said that.
Girl,
Well,
go
I
ahead
just,
and
I
respond.
just have a
Didn't nobody
question.
tell you that you cannot respond? Respond.
Well, Nuggets, I guess the question for you would just be: I heard everything you said. It's not going in one ear and out the other. I'm listening to you. Um, can you demonstrate like how me and you on a daily basis on our unconscious bias benefits from the white culture? Give me examples. How do we benefit?
First of all, define for me white culture.
Her
Okay.
pretending she cares is a benefit to get money off repeating what she heard black people say.
Yeah, Nuggets. Nuggets. Let me be clear. Okay, when I say this, I'm going to say I need you to give me examples, and I'll explain to
Can you
you.
slow
I just
down?
gave you one.
Can you slow down? And then Giovanni, can you clarify your question, please?
Yeah, sure. So you said there's a system, okay, which I agree with, and this system it benefits white people, okay, and that we have inherent unconscious bias, meaning that we have unconscious racism that we can't really address head on, but it's there unconsciously. I guess I'm asking you, can you give me and demonstrate to me how me and you benefit from this system each day? Give me examples of it, of how being YT every day benefits us more than being black.
Benefits us more than being black? That's a weird way to put it. So, first of all, you don't have to reach out and grab black people to demonstrate white privilege, first and foremost, right?
Talking about which, wait, first
Hey,
of all,
hey,
we're talking
Giovanni, do
about
you want
this.
me to answer your question or nah?
No, don't say that I'm being.
Do
You just
you
said the
want
racist
me to
again.
answer your question or nah?
Yes, please.
Then mute.
Demonstrate for me.
Then mute.
Demonstrate.
Then mute. Don't make demands of me. That's your entitlement. There you go. That's a benefit of white. So, even in the statement of I don't see color that you've carried around for a while, I already demonstrated that for you earlier when I said it's there for your comfort. You're going to erase the identities and the things that people have been through and the things that people are going through and the things that people will continue to go through because you simply want to stick your head in the sand and say, I don't see color. When in fact you do. And even if you're, quote, color blind, you can still see shades, which is what black and white would be. In terms of how you benefit, you don't wake up and have to worry about the skin that you woke up in since you want to keep putting to color, right? You don't have to worry about what the system has deemed you. You don't have to worry about any types of barriers because of your race. That is how you benefit on a daily basis.
I am sitting on a platform and I am being silenced by the people you're saying that I oppress. So please tell me how I am still oppressing them when they run this entire live right now.
First of all,
Exactly. You can't answer that. You can't answer that. They're muting me. They're
I'm
in
literally
control.
answering it, but
I'm the oppressor, but they're muting me. And they're
okay.
in control this entire live.
So that's not oppressing you. No one, you don't
No, no,
have
no,
to.
no. I'm saying I'm the oppressor. I'm saying. I said
You are
I'm
the
the
oppressor,
oppressor.
and so am I.
But I am in an actual live where they are in control fully, which I'm okay with. How am I still tell me how they don't if this country was the way that you're saying it was, they would not have the privileges to
Giovanni,
actually.
we done
You
spent too much
Giovanni,
time on you.
Giovanni,
know what you're talking about.
We done
you?
spent too much
Get
time
ready.
on you. We
Who
done
muted
sent
Goodbye.
you
him?
through
You
this
guys don't
whole
know what you're
live.
talking about. You guys are spreading racism. You're perpetuating it. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you.
Nobody muted
Right.
him. He
Oh my
sat here and
goodness.
talked for 5 minutes, and
So,
nobody muted
Y'all
him.
literally let us have a whole conversation. Like it was just me and him. Like I was like, "What are you talking about?"
why? So Maceo,
Melanated.
how you doing?
Swell.
So, what are your thoughts?
Racism isn't going to end until black people understand what it is and how to address it. And having somebody like the clown up there top right pretend she knows something about it because she repeats what black people say to get donations from black people and argue with ignorant whitey people to make it seem like she's somehow intelligent on the subject, that ain't gonna do it. Will you give up your privilege to end it? Oh, well, I'm a white man today, so I'm not giving up my privilege. So yeah, there's that.
I have no
I don't know
idea.
what the goofy's clapping for.
What happened?
Oh,
I ain't been
I mean,
in
I, I mean,
music
I just don't
factory.
understand. I just don't understand why 2025 black people still believe clowns like Nugget is some type of ally. Deconstruction does not exist. Black whitey people all understand they ain't treated like you. You can't find one white T person that says, well, I face discrimination based on my hair texture. I face discrimination based on my skin tone. I've been denied a job because I'm white T. I've been suspended from school because I was white T. None of them say that because they all understand they benefit from being white T. Deconstruction is a myth, and losers, idiots, clowns like her pretend to uphold that myth to pander to black people for donations. That's why every time you see the goofy, she's arguing with the dumbest YT person you can find to make it sound like she knows something. And y'all fall for it. That's another reason racism won't end.
Well, damn, Gucci. You care to respond? Do you care to respond? Shit, because
I
I
mean,
went in.
I'm confused about the donation part, but other than that, yeah, I'm racist. I mean, I don't know what, but I'm also not an ally, so I don't know. I'm not trying to mutually benefit nothing. So I mean, good luck with that, Maceo.
Exactly, she don't have nothing to say. What can she say? She just told you she ain't an ally. So why y'all got her up here talking about racism?
Why do you think ally is a good word, Maceo? Ally is a terrible
Well,
fucking word.
what does an ally mean?
Ally means two or more entities joining for a mutual benefit. And if
So how
black
is that? So
people,
how would that be negative?
because black people are here, white people are here in the social hierarchy of racism, and a mutual benefit would look like this. That means in order for me to do anything with you or for you, I have to take something from you. That's not a good word.
That makes absolutely no sense. If
That's
you want to be
literally
an
what
ally,
ally is.
if you want to be an ally to racism, you want black people to be up there exactly where you are. You just proved again you don't know nothing. And that's all she can do is this fake little dumb laugh. Because now she's not talking to an idiot like the guy y'all had up here earlier. She just proved it again, but y'all don't see it.
Man, the lady says you racist.
That don't mean nothing to me. All white people are look.
I know that.
That to me is like saying the sky is blue. Okay, congratulations, you can see. She wants a cookie for that.
Don't yell at me.
Maceo, I understand what you're
Don't.
saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying too. No, don't yell at me though. My period about to come on.
I'm
Don't
not
yell at
yelling
me.
at you, Lala. You know we cool. But again, all of this stuff about well, I talk to white people about racism. Okay, Ann, show me when y'all take that January 6th energy to Congress to go fight racism. I don't care about these
Mm,
conversations. These
mm,
conversations been going on for centuries. Y'all ain't talking about nothing new.
mm.
But the
Preach.
goofy thinks she's talking about something because she again argues with idiot YT people to look intelligent. But she just showed you she don't know nothing.
Mm.
And I rest my case, Your Honor.
You know, the weirdest thing that I have encountered on this app is white people do a good enough job at centering ourselves. I do find it weird when other people center white people.
What does that mean?
So why would you be in a black space if you have an issue with YT people centering themselves?
Asking you, why are you centering me?
I didn't center. Well, I'm centering you because you're a clown.
I'm
The
I'm
question, the
confused.
question, the question on the prompt: how can racism end? And I just gave an example. If black people stop falling for fake allies like you, thinking they know something about the subject because they repeat what they heard black people say, and they understand what racism really is, a financial tool, then we can start to deal with racism. But until
Yeah,
then,
but I think that like because Maceo, I'm with you.
I don't have my powers. I didn't mute her.
Sure, you gotta wait your turn, boo. Apologize.
Michelle, were you done? Melanated, did you want to introduce knowledge? I think knowledge was next.
Um, yeah. Sorry, I'm speechless. Um,
But melanated, you notice how the white tea people in the audience are all clapping for her, but the black people see what I'm saying? She is
Um,
not fake. How's she not fake? She don't know nothing. This is the same person that used racism as a verb a couple months ago. Yeah, because you don't know how to use words. Yeah, I know. Keep shaking your head.
I mean, to be fair, I do see black people that disagree as well.
Well, look, black people not a mile enough. Some people still lost. But again, I want to know what type of conversation white tea people are having with white tea people that's leading to anything. What new conversation, what new topic, what new discovery are you having with white tea people that means anything? And then, how are you taking that to the so-called system to really deconstruct it? Or do you think deconstruction is just telling other white tea people, you're racist and I'm racist? 1 plus 1 is 2. Oh, there's something new.
So, knowledge. Give
Yes,
us your age and race, please.
I'm African American male, and I'm 70 years old.
What
70, and I agree with everything Maceo saying.
Man, you my grandma age.
Yeah, I probably am. Been around a long time.
Dang, that's my
I,
mother.
and when you talk about the reason I'm connected with Maceo is because I've been around a long time. I was a teenager during the civil rights movement. I've seen a heck of a lot, and I agree with what he is saying. Uh, I've just seen that before, and it may sound harsh, but he's speaking true facts. And and when you say how can it end, we not causing it, so how can we fix it? And so we are not in power. We are not over the laws that govern this country. We are not over the institutions that control us. And so, how can we stop something that we're not in control? They are the ones in control. So, let's go back and just look at what's happened within the last few days. They have taken away some of our heroes in terms of the Tuskegee Airmen. They've stopped diversity, equity, and inclusion in federal funding and housing. I just got off something right now where they're holding back HIV medications to send over to Africa and other places where they're not where there's silence health agencies, so we can't even get information about any diseases or news alerts that's coming out, even about drug recalls or anything. We are not in control. And so how can we stop something when we're not in the driver's seat? And so I agree with him. Her coming in here and talking in black spaces, and then I've actually been on a live that addresses white people and some of their issues, and in terms of race and all that. My point is, I don't see where she's, but I agree with Maceo. So when I look at your prompt and say, how can racism end? Look, I have been through all that. Okay, I've been through all that, and so the thing is, don't have control. You're not over systems. You can't do it by yourself. We're not making the laws. We're not making the rules. We're not taking away. Everything that has happened in the past week has been taken away. What has been given? Everything is taken away. Parts of your history, parts of your rights, parts of it. How can we then turn around and end it? It has to be ended by those in charge.
All right. Thank you for that. Um, is it Alicia?
Yes, I apologize for speaking out of turn earlier.
Oh, it's all right. So give us your age and race, and then your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm 34, black. Um, I'm not going to center white people because I was just a little confused as to what the point of that was. But I do believe that that it is not the responsibility of black people to end racism. So I don't know why we would be upset at a white person calling out other white people about their racism. Um, That's why I was just confused. I was like, do we not want that to happen? Or like, I'm not trying to give nobody no cookie, but like, why even point it out if it's happening?
I like that.
Like, if white people is calling out other white people, cool, good for them. And we can just go about our business and do what we need to do to take care of our community. But I just don't understand, like, I don't know. I just wasn't getting what was happening. Like, what was the purpose of it? I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I might have missed something. I apologize if I missed something.
You missed it.
I'm still confused.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I might be confused with you there, host.
Can I
I
make
feel as
some?
Melanated,
though
I'm gonna put it to you like this: if
okay.
somebody has brain cancer,
Uh-huh.
is a doctor talking to you about the issue going to solve that, or is there going to have to be some more extreme measures to address that brain cancer? They
Well,
want
on
to
both.
talk
Oh,
about racism as opposed to actually doing something. Like I said, white people all know what it is. They invented it. Thinking they don't know what racism is and how they benefit is like thinking that Henry Ford don't understand the Model T. He built it. How does he not know? Again,
not.
white
Mm,
people all know they ain't treated like black people, like non-white Hispanic people, etc., etc. So what exactly is lecturing white people about what they already know actually accomplishing? Absolutely nothing. So I'll ask you the question she couldn't answer. What conversation are they having that's so revolutionary is any different than the conversations that have been happening for centuries about this issue? What
okay,
conversation are they
cool.
having?
Okay, cool. So I think that that comes from a misunderstanding, right? So I feel as though Black people have something inherently that white people don't naturally have, and that something is empathy, right? So as Black people, we can look to the experiences of ourselves and our community, and then look to other communities and recognize and have empathy for what they're going through, whereas white people don't naturally have that. And we've seen that historically. So what you're saying would be you pushing your own viewpoints onto YT people. I don't believe that YT people naturally have the empathy to recognize that Black people actually are in fact treated differently in this country. I think that there are some white people who are honestly so ignorant to that fact because they don't know how to look outside themselves. So I feel as though you're giving traits of the Black community and marginalized community as a whole to YT people when that's not their experience. So white people absolutely, there are white people who are completely ignorant to the fact that Black people live and walk a different life in this country. They are, because they have the inability to look outside themselves. Where again, as Black people, due to our experiences historically and the environments that we are raised in, we have that more so ability as a community to look to ourselves, and we can look out into the world at other communities and be like, yeah, I can relate to that. So I feel for you. They don't have that. So I think that that's a little bit of our of us perpetuating that. So I don't mind
Us
when I
perpetuating what?
it did. That's so what I'm stating is like, right. So I'll try to break it down a little bit more. So like, us as Black people, due to the experiences that we have had historically and the sense of culture that we have the ability to feel empathy for others, right? We can recognize, we can feel for others and what they're going through, and find that compassion. YT people don't naturally have that as a community, especially when we're speaking of here in the US. There are a lot of YT people that honestly go through life because they lack that empathy, thinking that Black people's experience is nothing but a outcome of their own actions, not anything else. They honestly believe that because they lack empathy or the ability to put themselves in other people's shoes due to their privilege.
Well,
So
if
that's
you
why
think
I
that,
don't mind when YT
you just
people,
like
I
her
don't
then.
expect YT people to check each other, but I don't mind when they do or don't. It's not my fucking business. All I can
Because
manage is my own community.
the standard is in hell. That's why you still think her having a grade school conversation with YT people means anything. Again, the
I
Black
didn't say it
Agecroft
did.
Museum estimates that there were 1,300 YT people put in trees right along Black people for doing what? Fighting racism. Today, the standard is, well, they got on TikTok and told a white person they're racist, and that's good enough.
Yeah, I'm not saying nobody is good enough. I'm not giving no white people no cookies. That's not what I'm
That's
doing.
exactly
What?
what you're doing.
Not at all, actually. Please don't tell me what I'm doing because I'm not
I'm
telling you
telling you
what you're
what you're
doing.
doing.
You don't know me and I don't know you,
I
so
don't
let's
need to
stick to
know you
being
to know what
respectful
you just
here.
did
I'm not
because you
giving white
disagreed
tea
with me
people
addressing
cookies.
her.
I've said more than once already on here that I'm not expecting no YT person to do nothing for me or my community, and I'm not giving them no cookies for doing nothing for my community. What I'm stating is
While
that
giving them
you are
cookies.
perpetu— okay, all right. I'm sorry, I didn't know you weren't done talking.
I mean, what am I perpetuating besides the truth?
If I could finish and get it out, then maybe you would hear me.
But you see how she want to flip it on me to say I'm doing something wrong? I'm
No, I didn't say
perpetuating
you were
something on
doing
her?
anything wrong. If you would listen to what I'm saying, you would recognize
I
that I'm not
heard what
saying
you
you're doing nothing
saying.
wrong. So can you restate what I said you're doing then, if you know what I said?
You said I'm perpetuating this idea that all YT
What?
people inherently know, and you're disagreeing with that, saying no. There's YT people that don't
No,
understand what
that's not
Black
what I
people are
said.
going through.
If
So
I
you
if I could,
saying you
I'll
saying
explain
you
it
saying
again.
that
It's
you didn't say
fine.
that there's YT people that don't look outside their
Yeah,
lands
but
and
I
understand.
explained why.
Okay,
Why did I say that they
so you
don't
did
know?
say what
Why
I
did
was
I say
saying.
that they don't know? Why did I
You
say
said
that they
because
don't
they
know?
lack empathy, and you
Yeah.
said
Do
that
you
Black
not think
people
that YT
inherently.
people lack empathy?
Oh
You
my!
don't
You
think that
said,
YT people walk around with a privilege of not having to put themselves in other people's shoes
and that's
because
the
literally
problem
the
because you
structure of this
conflated
country is built
two
around
different
their
things. I
needs?
didn't say
Is that
anything
not the
about
structure of our
empathy.
country?
My conversation had nothing to do with empathy. My point was that there ain't a white T person alive that understands they ain't treated like you. That's a far different conversation than saying, well, I don't think that Black people are going through anything.
That's not what I said though. So why are you trying to put words in my mouth now?
Didn't she just say there are white T people who don't look
Bro,
outside their
what I
lands and
said
understand
was
it?
there are YT people who lack the ability to feel empathy for others, right? So in their minds, the actions of the situations that black people find themselves are a result of their actions and their actions alone, due to the fact that our society literally breeds them up that way. Do you
What
disagree
Mm.
does
with
that
that? That
have
the
to do with my
society of this
point?
country breeds up
What
YT
does that
people
have to
and
do with
even
my
some
point?
black people to have that mind frame.
What does that have to do with my point?
The point being is that it is that there are some YT people who lack the ability, the empathy to listen to black people. So I'm not saying that, like, here's the thing again,
Y'all
like,
can
my
talk to her.
confusion of this whole fucking conversation is why you felt the need to center this YT woman when quite literally, like, it don't have
Well,
nothing to do with them. If you
maybe
want to
you
talk
should have
about the
just stayed in
background,
her
we could talk
comments
about the
because you clearly
background
didn't
all day, but it's
understand.
just weird.
Okay, so since you don't understand like her, the question on the prompt, how can racism end? And I gave two reasons, how, or rather two things that would end it. One, Black people understanding what it really is and not some grade school definition in a book that don't
Oh, I
apply
know
to
the
them.
concept of race, the theory of race. I'm familiar with it.
Excuse me. So anyway, and another one
Hmm.
was stop accepting nonsense from people like Nuggets who pretend to A, know about racism, B, care about it, and three, are doing something about it
Wait,
because they're good on TikTok.
and that's gonna end
You asked
racism?
for what how this conversation got here. You're getting the explanation and now you're cutting off. So go ahead.
Wait, and that's gonna end racism? That us? So wait, let me get this straight. A system race. So the theory of race being that the white race is the superior race, so created
That's not what
by the
racism
colonizer
is. You
Gomez de
showing you don't know.
Zaraza.
That's
We're
white
going to
supremacy,
end
not
the
racism.
perpetuation of that theory. Hold on, I shut up when you were talking. I thought this
You
was a
misconstruing
respectful
what I
live.
said. Well, I
I
was
thought
literally
this was a
talking when you
respectful
cut me
live.
off just now. So I don't know
Oh,
what you're talking
okay.
about.
Cause you stopped talking. I waited till you were done
No,
before
you
I
didn't.
started
You
talking.
literally, while I was explaining how we got here, you interrupted. So again,
No,
what
no,
you just
hold on.
explained, go
You
ahead,
started
Goofy.
explaining how we can end racism. I waited for you to finish. Then I started speaking. Then you spoke
I
over
didn't
me.
finish. Is the whole point.
Oh, okay. You weren't done. Go ahead, finish.
So again, stop accepting nonsense from people like that up there who say they're not an ally, but then try to act like an ally, quote unquote, checking YT people. The
Don't call
problem
her
is
those.
we accept the
So
bare minimum. And the goofy can do that little, nod and laugh all they want. It just proves they don't have nothing, right? Because, like you said, we have too much empathy. We accept anything, and then we want to reach out to other communities while our house is on fire. We want to go put out fires on other people's block. How is that helping us? That's not helping racism. And I'm going to say it again. Understanding what racism really is. It ain't got nothing to do with what you look like. It has to do with how you can be exploited for the benefit of white people, financially, politically, socially. That's what racism is. What you
That's not
described
what
as white
racism is.
supremacy. Okay, well, you can believe fairy tales all you want then.
It's not a
I
fairy
can't say
tale.
nothing to you.
The concept of race was so created
I
during the
said
transatlantic
racism, not
slave trade.
race.
It's a theory. It's a theory. So the theory of race is that the white race is the superior race and the
Did
four
I
other
say anything
races so
about
outlined.
race? I said
I'm talking now,
racism.
Mace. Maceo, I'm talking now.
You're talking
I
about
would like
something
to
I
have
didn't
my
bring
time
up.
to
I didn't say
speak
the
as I
theory of
shut up when you
race.
were speaking. I know you like to monologue and railroad a conversation, but I would also
Did
like a chance to
anybody hear me
speak,
say
right?
anything about the theory of race, or did you hear me say
I would
racism?
like my chance to speak because I'm
Well,
talking about
go
the
ahead and
theory of
talk about
race.
something I didn't
I'm
bring up,
speaking about
Goofy.
the theory of race. How about that? Okay, thank you. So the theory of race, so created during the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery in the early 14th century, or 15th century, I'm sorry, by most notably Gomez de Zaraza, the theory being that the white race was the superior race and the four other races outside of that fell beneath that. The perpetuation of that would be what we know as racism, which is the thought process that the white race is the superior race. I just want to know how we as Black people are able to end that when it's really not our theory. And we are the ones who are being victimized by it. My thought process is that we can only flourish by being our own community, not looking to white people to do nothing, because at the end of the day, they can either fix it or they can't, but that's on them. We as a community, though, can come together and take care of ourselves and handle our own community and build off each other. We can do that, so that we don't have to deal with the effects of racism so much so. But I really don't think that it has jack shit to for us as a community. I don't really feel like it has jack nada. I don't want to curse on your live, sorry host. To do with YT people and what they got going on. I don't think it got nothing to do with Nuggets. No offense to Nuggets. It ain't got nothing to do with Nuggets, and it ain't got nothing to do with any of these other YT people. You talk about knowing what race really is, but you sitting here talking about a Webster fucking dictionary definition of the fucking word,
Listen,
which was
Goofy, I
created by
never
these
said
white
anything
motherfuckers to
about.
include them in this whole, oh, race is discriminatory about a person based upon their race.
When did I say that? Who heard me say what this Goofy
Process
is
that the white
saying?
race is the superior race and everybody else falls beneath that.
Who
Anybody
heard me say
with
that?
half a brain cell and a knowledge of African American history know that
You
shit.
don't know
Like
nothing.
stop
What you
fucking playing.
described is white
But CB,
supremacy,
you
not
had your
racism.
hand up, and I feel as though you're important in this live. So CB, what did you want to say? I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, so y'all gonna act like I didn't say anything about race. I said racism, but of course she don't know nothing.
Racism is the
Okay,
perpetuation
so
of the theory
anyway,
of
anyway,
race. Go
anyway,
ahead,
anyway,
CB.
anyway.
Racism is the perpetuation of the theory of race. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
So
racism.
Yeah.
one of the things I wanted to mention about what I was getting from what Maceo was saying is you can't take someone who lacks empathy and go into a group of people with no empathy and teach them empathy. I'm not. That's kind of what I've been getting
Facts.
from Maceo. The other thing I also want to clear up, because I really do want us to get away from giving Gomez de Zurara the credit for creating racism. He created the ideology of anti-blackness. That's what he created, which is very different because he didn't have the capability or capacity to create the actual system, the mechanisms and stuff like that. So I don't want us to get into um, this routine of continuing to give that man credit for a system that actually took 400 years plus to create, because he didn't. He just created. He provided the ideology of that, which really he didn't even take creation. It was just an ideology. So I wanted just to clear those two things up with that. And I think it is important that we keep in mind what we're talking about, and that is lack of empathy. And if you go into a group and you lack empathy and everyone else lacks empathy, all you're doing is recycling and finding ways to hide your lack of empathy. That's what I've been watching with some of the deconstruction lives I've seen out there. is these are people who are learning ways by listening to us, learning ways to infiltrate one, and for also to appear, to disguise, to hide their malevolence with a mask of benevolence. And I'm going to say this, I don't really hear a lot of us even talk about HR 7354, and that is protect Black women and Black girls. So I would like all of us, everyone, to understand and put that on the forefront of all of our discussions when it comes to race and racism, because that's what it's all about. But yet no one brings that up.
When did Maceo say that YT people lack empathy?
We're the one that said that. I had
I
nothing.
did.
Yeah,
I thought
you
I
had
did.
Because
brought that,
your comment had nothing to do with
you
what I was talking
you
about.
had brought it up, and what Maceo, and I understand what Maceo is saying because I've listened to him. I've listened to him talk a lot about his views on this. So to me, it makes sense. And what you were saying is, the empathy part is very factual, but you, recycling not no empathy isn't curing the problem. There needs to be
No, I didn't
action.
think it was.
No, no, no.
I'm not stating that it is.
Wait, hold on real quick. But what I'm saying is what Maceo is saying is it's action. It's not the discussions anymore. They all know it. It's the conversations. There needs to be action. There needs to be movement where they are going and putting 7354 plastered everywhere in every town, in every city, every live, whatever they need to do, calling the congressman, calling. That's what needs to happen, because white people know. And what I'm finding is they're listening, they're writing notes, they're taking, they're using the same arguments, and they're using it against it. So I think that is what Maceo was saying. I'm not sure.
What I'm saying. And
Are
my
we
comment
asking for white saviors
and
then?
my comment had nothing to do with them not having empathy. My whole point was they know they ain't treated like you for a reason. So what
So are
exactly
we
are you
asking?
telling
Oh,
them that they
sorry.
don't know?
So are we asking for white saviors then to come
If I'm
and do
sitting here
these things?
criticizing her for talking to YT people, how am I asking for a white savior? Like, is there cognitive dissonance going on or not? Like,
No,
what
I'm
is this?
asking because CB said that these are the actions that they need to be having. So that's why I'm asking, is it we're waiting for a white savior then? Because I'm
Y'all
confused.
always say racism isn't black people's fault because they're not perpetuating it, but we don't need white saviors, but white people need to deconstruct and they need to end it. So which one is it?
White people need to do anything. I've said that more than once now since I've been up here. I don't give a fuck what white people do. I care about my community and how we can uplift my community. I came up here asking why we are centering the conversation about what white people are doing.
They're perpetuating racism, aren't they?
The conversation is, how can we end racism? We know that it's up to white people to end racism, and we need to know how they can do it. And with the action part,
Oh,
because
so the
that's the
live is geared toward white people. Okay, that's where I was
no, no,
confused.
no. It's well, so if the talk, it's everyone, I think, can be involved in the conversation.
Well, I don't feel, I'm going to say this. I don't feel as though it's black people's responsibility to end racism. I do agree on that aspect.
It isn't. And
Yeah,
if
so
they would focus on themselves and the system, right? Because in order to dismantle, destroy the system, they need to take action, just like they have in every other civil battle or war that they've ever fought in, right?
So
So they
mhm.
need to take the action. I agree. I think if we cut off the whiteness that gets put into our communities, we as a community can heal, because I'm about the healing part. But we can't do that with constant invasions, what I like to call it. But also, they need to take action. The conversations aren't working. They've been having conversations for how long now?
centuries, centuries.
That's what I'm asking. Is this live about addressing white people's action or is it about addressing the black
Man,
community?
I don't know why people jump in a conversation and ain't read the room read. Like,
I am reading the room. So I was in here for
then
quite
why
a
you
few
still
minutes
asking the
and the
same
whole
goofy
seemed,
question
all it
then?
seemed was that you guys were coming at a YT person about what they were doing. So
And you
I was
came to defend
confused.
them, so go ahead and keep
I'm not
defending
here
them.
to defend them. I'm here to be constructive for the black community because there ain't nothing constructive about us wasting time coming at a YT person and what they're doing. What's constructive is us figuring out ways that we can help our community and our community grow.
That is a very high quality cake that you
Minute,
got
but
on
wait a
there.
minute, Alicia. I've seen you have these conversations though. I've
Yes.
seen you've had these conversations, so why can't we have that conversation here?
So because the conversation wasn't about, so here it's perfectly fine. You're absolutely right, I have hosted lives talking to YT people about racism and how it is their responsibility to do so. But what I don't do on those lives is I don't then start getting mad at the YT people who are asking questions, who are trying to figure out how they can work to fix racism. I don't do that. So that's what I'm trying
Who
to
did
figure
that
out.
up
Either you
here?
want to host the live where you're telling YT people what they should be doing, and
Who
in
did that up here? See, that's what I'm talking about. You coming up here with assumptions and don't know nothing, like she don't know nothing.
assumptions, Mace, you
Well,
were
Maceo is
literally
in math. That's how Maceo speaks. A lot of these people in this panel, even Nuggets, I'm pretty sure is familiar with Maceo, even the tone in Maceo's voice. He's not angry
it
or
wasn't
anything
the
like
tone. I'm
that.
perfectly
But
fine with
per the
people's tone.
conversation, right? But per the conversation that the Maceo said was wrong, per how we speak in our panels about, as far as it's not just about the conversations, you need to be out here doing more than that. The conversations, we're past talking. We're literally past that. And I don't see anything wrong with saying that if we're talking about how to end racism. But go off.
That was the whole the prompt. How can we end racism? And that ain't got nothing to do with black people. We got a fuck thing to do with black people. And we sat over here arguing about a white woman. I'm just saying.
I didn't take it as an argument. I think Maceo actually brought up a good point when it comes to white people doing racism, addressing racism, and I'm talking about in general speaking. On TikTok, there's more talk and conversations than there is about action, and that's what. And because Nuggets was in the panel, he's using her as an example, showing, illustrating. There's no action behind it, and maybe some of them do outside of TikTok work. It's just it's not showing. A lot of these content creators have a million plus followers, but nothing's changing. So I think it's important that we call out some of the benevolence or the malevolence that's being hidden by benevolence. And I'm not saying anyone in particular. I've experienced it personally with some of the content creators where I found out that they're just transactional, or they're literally misogynist. So I just feel it's important that we're able to see everything in a larger picture and what it looks like. Precautions and protect ourselves and our spaces. Because maybe
So I
someone doesn't want to include have discussions on anti-racism in their panel. It allows them to set that boundary.
I have no problem calling out hypocrisy in the YT creators on this app and how they ride the wave of this the have called out YT creators for doing such. My question was more so to the effect of, if we are talking about how to end racism and if it is geared towards YT people, are like, I don't know, I just find it weird to ask a person when you have no way of substantiating it, like outside of the app. Like I know some of these people on this panel right now, but I don't know any of them in their day-to-day life. So how, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of weird to say, okay, what are the actions that you're taking place when have no way to verify that they're even doing that?
It's pretty clear that the media, all media, plays a role into what's going on in policies and laws and Congress and all those things. So if you take someone, let's say, or this woman or man, out of that 9 million might have 50,000 people in that state. Do you know how much power that 1,000 people together to march for HR 7354? That is
Hmm.
power. So we're not seeing that. We're seeing them in the lives. We're seeing them making the videos, but they're not, they like to perform. So police department, or getting the petition signed, pushing HR 7354 forward. These are the things that would contribute and start and begin
CB.
dismantling. But the thing is a
See,
lot of people aren't doing that.
see, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but they're saying that the live is glitching in the chat. They said very glitchy. The mod, Ahmad said,
Oh yeah, it says they said badly.
drop your favorite color, your favorite food,
Yeah, TikTok shop in the
TikTok
chat.
shop, everything. Tap screen.
It's important we don't end up, being on here. Have relationships, friendships, TikTok friendships, whatever, with a lot of them. And I feel it's important that we stop, we deconstruct the white supremacy or dismantle the white supremacy. And I'm going to be honest with you, Nuggets has even said that before.
Yeah, no, I
So
heard.
I lives and you see engagement between someone like Nuggets or there's many others, and they're having a conversation with Maceo about how their platform could be problematic. I think it's important to let that conversation happen. It's very, very important because this is real. This stuff is happening right now as we see it, and just because you may not see it or understand it, there's so many of us that do. There's so many of us that understand the pandering, that understand the Jim Jones variant, that understand all of that. And we cannot keep looking at them as individuals on this thing. Outside of here is another thing, but on here we can't continue of their white privilege. You know what I'm saying?
Why do we then have them on the panels? Because, like, for me, it would just be a matter of, okay, then I'm just not like they can panel them or not panel themselves. They can host their own lives and create their own community and saying these things. Yeah,
Before
but
you joined,
yeah, no, I
Before
know.
you joined, Nuggets was having a conversation with white people.
Yeah, and I saw that, but then the comment was, which I'm in listening to you say what Maceo find, like Maceo saying that he wants her to be more about action rather than speaking. What is the point in having them on the panel then if their speaking is
Because we are all here on TikTok now and speaking. We're in the moment of speaking. So, like, for instance, if she wakes up, if Nuggets or any of them wake up tomorrow and decide between going down to the police station to have a conversation with the chief or getting
Mhm.
on a live, what do you think a good choice for them to deconstruct white supremacy would be?
I
Department with the people, the
yeah, having the
systems, right?
conversations with the
Right?
police
Not
department is
TikTok.
fine, but I
But
just mean
right
on the
now,
app.
right now on the app, there are participants, including yourself, that are engaging in conversations. So Maceo brought up behavior patterns that he's
Mhm.
seen, we've observed, and he clocked that because it is part of why racism has.
On it on TikTok, but for their actions to show differently in the real world.
My point. I don't know how people didn't get it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, all right. I apologize for asking you to reiterate. If you don't feel like it, that's your right.
Alicia, you came in hot, mama. You did. I'm hold your hand when I say this. You came in hot, and that's how all of that started.
If I came in hot, I apologize. I felt as though when people.
Oh, I'm not a mod, so I didn't do that. But yeah,
No, it wasn't you. I was getting a phone call. That was my fault.
but yeah, that's just that because I love you and Maceo down. Respect both of y'all and respect both of y'all opinions, right? Um, I just think that this was a huge misunderstanding, and I see both perspectives, but Maceo ain't wrong.
No, and here's the thing. Like, I respect with CB explaining. I agree, right? Or there's more. I just don't understand the concept of, I guess, then having them on panels speaking to YT people if we're going to say that it's not then enough, because then I would just not panel said person or said people and allow them to do it. Like,
So the thing is, like, I don't get it. Like, black people been, like CB said, black people been fighting for years for trying to get rights, for trying to stop racism for years. It's not enough. So it will take a white person to deconstruct the racism in order to fight this. Black people is not enough for them to fight because this white people here in America are control the system. So black people don't have enough voice can speak against that racism, because a lot of time the white people like they're not going to listen to us most of the time. Not all the white people, but they're not listening to every black person. So if they have another white person to have their experience and see how they see it, they can really understand from the white perspective. Like Nuggets came in. And you know what? Nuggets not the only creator. Actually, helped plenty of white people deconstruct. I see other white people are actually helping other white people actually see where we came from. That's actually eye opening. And so for her to come here in this black space and say something and it's speaking for us and helping us. Do you think this is exactly what we want? We want a white person to come and speak for us and see exactly what we want them to see.
The
So for
fact that
her
you
to
said
come,
it takes a white person to give white people a black perspective is crazy
because
as hell. Does
okay, you
that
know
make any
why?
sense at all? How can
Because
somebody that don't know what it's like to be black tell somebody else what it's like to be black?
but she deconstruct. That's what it
I
mean
don't
by
mean to interrupt you
deconstructing.
guys, but the chat is saying like they can't even hear the conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick restart because it's just glitching like really badly.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Oh my freaking! This is so.
Yeah,
That's
Magda, I hope you come back to